I don't know about you guys, but I get so excited for summer and just the light and just the feeling of being in the juicy energy of summer. And like, I always get a little sad when I turn my my clock back, and you know, and we lose that light. And so this time for us to have so much light and so much energy, it's just a really exciting time. I think for all, I mean, can we all agree on that? Or
yeah.
So I know some people are really into winter, and like that's okay. I'm born in August, and I kind of feel like I'm a summer baby, so I really appreciate summer. Also, I want to just say before we get started, if you're having trouble hearing me, or if the music is too loud, which I think it might be a touch, if we can turn it down, just let me know, okay? And like, my hope for this evening is that we're gonna have a freaking blast, that it's gonna be fun and sexy, that you're gonna leave with some information, and that most of all, that I wanna just empower you guys to trust your intuition, to have fun with crystals. I love crystals, and I also love sharing about them, and I really love bringing people together. So, and I love yoga. I've been practicing yoga for 29 years. So it's great to be able to be in the studio, this beautiful space, and share all of this together. So I wanted to just start with like the feminine and like relationships and how girls are. And David, we love that you're here with us. And like you are so holding up the masculine energy for the room. So like, but I really love that like all these ladies showed up tonight. And I want to just say like, this is your harem. So enjoy. David literally just moved to LA and he came into the shop yesterday. And I told him you should come because this is going to be a fun like night to meet people. I'm thinking there might be a couple other gentlemen, but we got David.
That's a lucky deal, right?
But so I just want to talk about, like, since there's so many of us of the female form here, female relationships and just the beauty and the goodness of the feminine. And Brittany and I met in a locker room at a hot yoga studio around the corner called Hot 8.
Yes.
And it was like, you know, and it's just like being able to like be in a locker room with each other and like just talk and be girly and like, you know, we're naked, we're all naked, and like who cares, you know? And it's like, it's such a beautiful part of being able to be a woman is just to connect, and that we're sort of like in this together. So I just want to say like how fun that we talked in the locker room, and then here it's like, I think like a year and a half later, or is it 2 years since we've done the Yoni workshop at the store? About 2 years. So we did a Yoni crystal workshop at my store that I think most of you've been in, right? Has everyone here been to the store?
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, so we did a Yoni crystal workshop, which was incredible, and Brittany came, and then, you know, anyway, so here we are. So that's sort of the how we got here. So I want to talk about summer, and I want to talk about how, for me, summer was always really exciting growing up because it's like you wear less clothes. You know, there's an anticipation, like even like as a young girl or boy, when you're coming out of like high school or junior high or elementary school, and you know like you've got this summer and those like 2 months. I know people are in different school schedules now, but we were all pretty much in school. It was like we had those 2 months to like explore, have fun, maybe go like visit your grandparents in another state or go to summer camp, and like what those times felt like. And personally for me, like I know like I had my first kiss at summer camp. I kissed on Bryant. Oh my God, so did anyone else have their first kiss at summer camp?
Mine was at homecoming.
Oh my God, so cute, I love it. So it's like, you know, these memories are like these are exciting, and sometimes they're like summer related, and then it's like, I remember dancing for the first time at summer camp and like feeling so awkward, and like the counselor in training like having me dance all night and making me feel like special and pretty, and I think I was like 14, you know, and it's just, these are really precious moments, and I feel like we bring them into our lives and like, you know, into everything that we do. It kind of shapes the people that we become, those like little us's. And I really want to like talk about that piece because I think it's really important that we, that's part of who we are, and who we are today is because of that little person that brought us to sit on this awesome gray couch. Look, you guys are like, how many of you are on one couch together? That is so freaking awesome, I love it. So okay, so I want to just say that we have a really fun raffle. It's like, basically there's gonna be some prizes at the end, and it's gonna be connected to something that I say. And so it's gonna be whoever raises their hand first, there's gonna be 3 opportunities to win prizes tonight, okay? And plus you're getting fucking awesome gift bags, all right? Like, gift bags, I'm just gonna say off the bat, we've got Alu's giving a beautiful bag, plus there's a shirt in it. It's gonna be, you all will get your size, so she'll ask you your size and then she'll, you know, put it in there. Plus we got a $10 gift certificate to Beaming. We have Beaming sponsored us. They gave us drinks and treats. And Nellie's, which is one of my favorite vegan chocolate lines. I love her. She's an amazing Greek woman, lives in the Valley, super awesome mommy. And she created this delicious chocolate line. It's my most favorite, decadent, like you can get it at all the health food stores in the refrigerator. And they're over there. Plus we've got Booch on tap, tea, whatever. We want to make you guys feel comfortable and welcome here. Okay. So, with that said, pay attention because you don't want to miss this prize when you learn what it is. And I'm about to talk about it in a minute. So I want to start with just like sensuality in general. So is everyone familiar with the chakra system here? Pretty much. Yeah. Okay. So just generally, like we have these energy centers in our bodies, and they move up and down our body, and the sensual center, it would be started in the root chakra. And so there's a lot of crystals that are associated, we associate the crystals with different colors, and those colors connect to those. So I'm gonna talk first about carnelian, which is this beautiful crystal here. And carnelian is a crystal that is really good to work with. Just the first thing we wanna do is like open up our center. So this beautiful color orange, which I've had to learn to love. I used to hate orange, but I've now learned to work with it. I actually have meditated literally sitting on a carnelian for the past, like on and off for the last 6 months, because I really needed to open that part of myself up, because I got out of a relationship that was really heavy and intense, and I needed to basically become, and go inside for about a year and like not date at all and just really take my energy back. And so carnelian helped me like connect and open up again, I would say, to sensual energies. So that's a really great crystal to work with, and I really highly recommend it. It's really great for anything where it's like you feel blocked in this area, and it also could be like even as simple as like cramps, or you know, maybe you're feeling like sexually frustrated, whatever. It's a great crystal. So that's the first one I want to talk about. This is really cool because it's also like doubles as a massage wand. So the shape is really nice, and it also just feels good in your hands. And a lot of times with the crystals I choose, it's all about like how it feels. Like how does this feel when I work with it? It's not just like, oh, I love that color. It's like this actually feels good in my hand. And that's like something when I'm choosing crystals for the shop, because I do choose every single crystal that we have. I really care about the feel. As long as also, of course, being pretty is nice too, but you understand there's like, there's two parts of it. There's an energetic, and then there's also a look. And also I want to say, sometimes the ones I gravitate to that I actually work with are probably not the prettiest crystals, and I might not even bring them into the shop because somebody might not think they're very pretty, but I know energetically that I connect with them. And so I really always say, like, you kind of know what you need. So I think it's important to know that. Okay, so I want to talk now about one of my favorite crystals that I've been working with for a while now, called kunzite. And if you notice, I wear this humongous pink kunzite on my neck. This piece came to me in a really beautiful way. I was with another girlfriend of mine who's extremely intuitive, and we were looking at stones, and I didn't even see this in this beautiful Brazilian woman's case, and she picked it up and she handed it to me, and I burst out crying, like literally uncontrollable tears. And she's like, that's your shaman crystal, that's your goddess crystal. And it was so clear. So I set it for myself, and I've been wearing it, and this beauty has been helping me a lot. What it's done for me personally is really amazing heart opening, and also magnetizing the masculine, because the year that I took off of not dating, which is literally ended April 18th of just a few months ago, I literally was invisible to men. Like No, I'm not kidding. Like my whole life, it was like, oh, you know, like I've had male attention. Like literally, I may as well have been dead to the male race. Like I am not fucking kidding. And it was not fun. And like it was really like it was humbling to my spirit, and it was painful. But it was an invitation from the universe, personally, for me to go inside and to really like look at what I needed to work on. And honestly, I wasn't ready. And this beautiful crystal and this friend helped me open my heart again. It also helped magnetize love to me. And really, like, it's been ridiculous. And the girls can vouch for this. Like, dudes showing up in the store who like see me in the window, and like it started happening.
It's so true.
It literally started happening right after April 18th. And
right
my Vedic
after.
astrologer told me, like, and I had it written in bold letters, and I put it on my altar, do not date till April 18th. And it was, and like literally it was almost like the date passed, and then dudes started walking in the store, like randos. It was weird.
Everyone was trying to date Ellie.
Like it was
like
ridiculous,
so many,
right?
Yeah,
It was ridiculous.
and I started a few months before this and saw like nobody, and then all of a sudden that date passed, and then like everyone's coming in.
It was weird. And like there was one guy who came in, and there was a moment where I know Tara was standing on one side. Who was on the other side? Was it Amanda? Okay, they literally were like flanking me of like, no, you cannot, like, and like I stood behind the counter like, no, she's not gonna come out and talk to you, and you're not gonna date this, you're not dating our girl. They were like my ladies in waiting lords. So it was really interesting, and I really do want to say that it was also like right around the time I put the kunzite on. So, and I've been meditating with a piece of kunzite in my hand for a little over a year. I have a humongous one at home that's my like very good friend, and that crystal is, I meditate with that in one hand most days. I mean, I have a bunch of them on my altar, but the other one I meditate with is I don't know if any of you guys have seen. I'm really into twin crystals where they grow together like in harmony, and so I'll meditate with the twin crystal in one hand and the kunzite in the other, and it's been really good for me because for me, and I don't know about you guys, but can we agree that love is probably the most important thing?
Yes. Yeah.
Like over like anything, like that, like we're here to learn how to love the deepest that we possibly can, and also that like that's what we desire, is to connect deeply with another person, and most importantly like ourselves. Like, because, and it's like that's something that I really want to connect with here with all of us, is how important it is that we learn to deeply, deeply, deeply love and appreciate ourselves on every level, that will draw someone to us. But it's first, it really begins with us. And you know, I know we hear this and it's like, learning to love yourself is the greatest gift of all. But when you really fucking get that, and Whitney had something when she said that, like really learning to love yourself is the greatest gift of all. And I really want to impart that, because when we kind of can wax and wane in our lives of how that shows up for us, because there's times where it is really hard, we're really confronted, we're in a situation maybe that doesn't feel like in complete alignment, or we find ourselves not ourselves, like, or there's certain people where we can just feel very comfortable and free, and there's other people where maybe we're finding ourselves like pulling back because it doesn't feel as free with this person. Maybe they don't see your greatest light, or you feel judged, or whatever it is that comes up that doesn't have us shine as brightly as we need and should. Like, wouldn't it be amazing if we could be in a world where no matter who is with you, that you always show up as your greatest and truest self? No matter what anyone is saying from the outside, we are able to just like be in who we are and remember our own divinity. So that's kunzite, and that's what kunzite is like, is the gift of this amazing, amazing stone. And I made something actually special for our night tonight. Kunzite's a very pricey crystal. It comes from Brazil. This one is Brazil, and it also comes from Afghanistan. And so because it's so pricey, we wanted to make like something that's like affordable so everybody can have it. So this is a $65 necklace we made. We made them for men and for women. And we made a bunch of different ones here. Actually, like, we all, like, it was a group effort. Like, Tara and Mandy and I did it together. So it's like, it's made with a lot of love, and it was just made in the last 24 hours. So they're just simple, and it's really like, you know, just on a little simple string, so you can wear it and have it, and you can put it with whatever, but also just so you have something that you can meditate with if you want. Like, we have them here for whoever wants to buy one. But it's, when we were working with them, I was commenting to the girls, it was really hard to put that stone down. Like, when we were holding him, I was like, God, I don't want to like let it go. Like, even to like be like, okay, can you make it, we're gonna like make these into the men's necklaces, and these are gonna be the ladies' necklaces. It was, that's how much that stone, that's how deep it feels. Like, that's how beautiful it is of a stone. Because I just talked about Afghanistan, I want to mention, there's a reason there's weird wars in certain places. There's a lot of minerals in Afghanistan. There are so many minerals that come from Afghanistan, and it is so mineral rich, and it is such a beautiful country. So I just want to say that too. Like, the Afghani people are incredibly beautiful. I get to meet all these incredible people that that have all these beautiful minerals in their world, and it's so interesting to meet them. And I remember one time, this one Afghani guy said to me, "Do you know what I love? I love it when girls wear yoga pants." He like thought it was so like, he was like, because we were at a gem show, and this girl walked by in yoga pants, and it was like, it just lit him up. Like, in their culture, like, it's not like, you know, it's not, maybe not as so acceptable to wear like yoga pants, but like, it just like totally turns him on. And it was so cute to watch that. So with that, David, what is it that you love about women? Like, what draws you to women?
Well,
and I'm not to put you on the spot, like, because we can talk about guys first, but I just.
Sure. I think what draws me to women is, it's a broad term, but beauty. Like, I think women are the most beautiful thing on this planet, honestly. And it's not about looks or any of that. It's about just, maybe it's like the softer side in me that I see in them or something like that, but I don't know, I just think that women are one of God's greatest gifts to the earth.
Slow clap.
We love you. We really needed some male energy.
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that like we forget, and like beauty is like he's talked about, it's like it comes in so many different forms. It's not like perfect, right?
No, I love imperfections. And this is something that I've learned as I've, I think, learned to love my imperfections. Like, just, I'm quirky. I like, it's okay if you're quirky. Like, that's the type of things I find really sexy. Like, if you're a little, things that are a little bit off. Yes. I always feel like there's got to be like at least 20% dork in any guy that I like. And he's got to have, because I'm such a goofball, and like it's so important to me, I think, and I love to hear that from a guy too, because it's like, it's embarrassing. I have this weird thing that all the girls know about with the number 55, and I'm going to totally share it with you because like I have to, but this weekend I have a new romance that's happening, and when I went to his house, I realized he lived like on a film canister on his gate. He lives at 55, and I was like, that's insane. And it's like, the girls know it's my favorite number, and I do this really weird thing when I see the number. Should I do it? Yeah. Oh my God, you ready? It's so fucking creepy and weird. All right. So it's like, when I saw he lived at 55, I was like, oh fuck. I'm like, and I was like, I have to take a picture of you at 55. And he's like, no, I'm not gonna be in the picture. I'm like, you need to be in the picture. And he wouldn't. So anyway, he's like, you can be in the picture. But I did it for him. And then I was like so embarrassed. And I was like, oh God, like you saw my like goofiness, you know? And anyway, it was really funny, but it was, you know, also like, as you can see, I'm like getting flushed even thinking about it, and like I'm turning red, and it's like, but those are the moments that actually bring you close to somebody.
Did he embrace it?
Yeah, and then he did it a few times too. And then he showed me how he does, what's his name that we all love from Lord of the Rings?
Gollum.
Yeah, he does Gollum, but then I out Gollum'd him. So, it was really, it's like those things I think bring us closer, and like it's the, like, one of my best friends, Kate, always says it's the warts and all that like make us love those people. It's like, if you think about it, it's not like, oh my god, his abs were so fucking perfect, and I could do my laundry on his belly. It's like, no, it's like, oh my god, like he had a gut, and like it was so cute because I love to rub it. Like truly, like I'm serious. Like think about like what are the things that you like that made you fall in love with that person? Like it's those moments of like, oh my god, when he like talked about like how his dad never saw him or whatever. Like, so those are things that I think are really important for us to remember. Okay, so moving on to crystals. Let's see. There's a couple things I want to. I want to say one more thing about kunzite. So kunzite, it's not only great for love in general, it's also amazing for loving communication. Like I surprised myself with kunzite. I had a girlfriend who met me in Hawaii all the way from New York and decided like a day after she arrived there, we're in Hawaii renting a house together for 2 weeks, that she just wanted to leave. And then she decided that it was my fault that she wanted to leave. And like it was this very intense conversation that could have been one of those conversations that would have been like, oh, like I'm defensive and I'm like, you know, like this is like this, I'm sorry, stop projecting your thing on me. You know, like we know these kind of conversations. But I was holding a huge piece of kunzite, and this was actually my first experience with kunzite. And I was able to hear everything she said, and there was a lot of projections, whatever, but I didn't react. And I was able to really hear her and honor that she just needed to go back to New York. And like that was just the way it was. And it was like really, it facilitates in loving listening and loving communication. So in general, like it is my most favorite of the love stones, and it's the one I love the most. And I really just want to impart that on you guys. Okay, so I also want to just say this too, just as a general note with crystals. So there's lots of books about crystals. There's lots of like information. We give out a little crystal card with crystals. These are experiences that people have researched. It comes from a little bit of science and a little bit of intuition and a lot of intuition. And I want to say, I can tell you things about crystals, but you're going to have your own experience with them. Crystals are incredible communicators. They're literally like, hi, we're here to help. We want to help you. Like anything that, like, what do you need? What do you want? And you really feel it. It's like having like a faithful dog. Like, you know how dogs, like they just want to serve and they're like, how can I help you? What do I want to do? But crystals are doing that in a higher form because they're like, we want to transform things. We want to make things work. We want to bring you love. We're here to help. They are medicine of the earth, and they're also, like we have all the herbs like on our planet, we also have a crystal that correlates with the same thing that the herb. Like I one day, we're launching an aromatherapy line at the shop that's all organic, but I would one day really love to pair like, and this will come in the future, of like an herbal tea elixir with the exact crystal that's like, this is like, okay, so for example, this is a crystal I'm going to talk about now, which is pink apophyllite. So pink apophyllite is very loving, very angelic, very sweet. Like you can look at this crystal and see the absolute sweetness and gentleness of this beautiful, and even the way she grows as a bubble. Like how cute, she's like hollow on the inside, sparkly on the outside. And you know, and they're just so incredible. But so it's not just like, oh, I read about pink apophyllite and it does this. Like that can be very mental. I want to say like everything I'm sharing is also experiential. Like working with them, the more they help you in every possible way, but they teach you. Like it's really just like being open and going, okay, I'm willing to like learn and humble myself, and I don't need to figure it all out here because it all exists here. And it's just really being willing to allow yourself to experience it, and it's not just about like what I read in a textbook or what my mind told me. I really like want to invite us always into our hearts and our intuition. The greatest thing and the biggest gift that's happened to me out of working with crystals is my intuition. And like sometimes it's like I'm like, oh, I'm feeling psychic.
but it's really just that it's like it's helped ignite my intuition. And yes, I work in a place where we're literally surrounded by crystals 360 every single day. And we care for them greatly. Like, we sage the store multiple times a day. We play quantum healing music for them at night. We play we do so much for them. And they told me, like, I know this sounds crazy, but I was doing, I don't know if anyone here is familiar with Surya Spa. I know that Lilia is, but I did Panchakarma last year. It's the best.
My best friend did it.
Yeah, it's like a freaking life changer.
I did camo at Surya.
Oh, a chamomile, which
No, camo the frog poison.
Oh shoot! Oh, I didn't know about that. Yeah, and I do know about that, but I didn't know that her mom told me I need to do ayahuasca. I was like,
I know,
really?
she told my friend
I was like,
that.
really?
Yeah.
Like, you're like 75 telling me this. But basically, Surya Spa is like where you do PK Panchakarma. So it's basically it's a way of cleansing your body, and they believe you should do it 4 times a year. It's really expensive, so I don't know unless you're like super like stoked to sign up for that, like 4 times a year. But it literally resets your body, and they go through each system. But while I was laying there on, like, I think it was my 5th day, there was like a huge crystal in the room, and I swear to you guys, and I know this sounds cuckoo, Cocoa Puffs, cuckoo, but the crystals told me in the room, you need to play quantum healing music for your crystals at night. They're asking me to tell you this. And I was like, okay, what the hell is quantum healing music? So I started researching, and we actually created a playlist that we play at night for the store. So, you know, not only are we like, we cleanse and heal these crystals in our store at night. So, and I think it's important because they're giving so much, and they're helping everybody who comes in the store, and we do the same. We also, by the way, play ancestral lineage clearing prayers throughout our house in store. So, and that's 24/7. And like the waves, if you guys have ever subtly heard waves, that's what's playing in the background. Okay, so let's think. I want to hear from you ladies what you love about men. Not everybody wants to win. Should I start or like right there? What's your name, by the way?
Juliana.
Hi, Juliana.
Nice to meet everyone. I love the sort of like the strong presence of a man, and so I haven't had a boyfriend, like a serious relationship in like 5 years, but I have male friends, and I'll just invite them over to like hang a painting for me or just like help me with something. Just their presence of them being strong, it just feels so comforting to me.
Yeah. Anyone else?
I think.
Yeah.
I'm Sandra.
Hi, Sandra. We love you.
I love you too. I have like a super alpha husband. He is a professional athlete, and so he's like the definition of the masculine. But what I love most about him is his ability to be vulnerable. And he has this kindness and this vulnerability to him that it's what captivated me. It's like, yes, he was this beautiful body, but it's like I couldn't even see that. I saw this like soft, kind vulnerability in him, and it just like hook, line, and sinker me. So I think that shows tremendous strength in a man when they can expose their hearts and not be afraid to go to that place that maybe the world says like, this isn't the way. I think, this isn't manly. I think there's something really beautiful and attractive about that.
Yeah.
So,
Anyone else?
For me, I've cultivated a lot of female, like deep friendships from a source of empathy. And I think having relationships with men, it's sort of like you have that competition, you have that equality, but it's kind of more mysterious because you have to connect with them on a different level, maybe from a different sort of experience, because of the way they know the universe from such a different energy.
yeah.
Yep. Anyone else?
There's simplicity.
What? There's simplicity. I know, right?
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, I like all of those things. I like a layered man. I like a man who's got like a lot, like where there's like, you learn more and more, and
I also love like waking up next to a man. There's just something really nice about it. I do want to say that. Not just any I'm not a random man. like someone that that you wake up and you're like, oh, there he is. And there's just something so nourishing about laying in bed with like someone that you feel connected to, you know? And there's so many beautiful things about men, and I feel like they get thrown under the bus quite a bit by us, and like especially lately because we're finding our way, and I really want to like honor men right now, like a lot, and I think we need to like really do that. So we're gonna move to this part. So part of I think that is us embracing the masculine in us as well as the feminine. And one of the things that I started working with, I used to, when I would see these things, I would think they were the weirdest and most like what the hell is this? But so we have like a little fun thing that I put behind here. Some of you have seen these in the store. We kind of hide them, but
Yes. Just slow clap.
So these are our penis crystals. Now, you may be wondering, yeah, we kind of hide them because one time I saw a mother, like we had them in the store, and I saw a mother like be horrified and like pull her child out of the store. So the thing that's really, this is my favorite one, so I'm just gonna hold this one. But so the thing that I realized about working with them. Okay, so again, like crystals talk to me because I've been working with them for a minute, and the thing that I realized about them is, I want to show you this first of all. Like whoever carved this, on every one of these penis crystals, it's a heart when you flip it over.
That's awesome.
So what I realized is that these were actually, it's a heart on. So what I realized is that that these were actually for many purposes. I should say take it home, do whatever you want with it. But this is actually for a few things. The first thing that came through is that it's for sexual trauma healing. So meaning sometimes some of us are afraid of penises, and this can go for men too, and it doesn't mean have to be sexual. It could be whatever shame that we've all been brought up with, or maybe we've been embarrassed by penises, or maybe weird shit happened when we were a kid. I had men flash me. We moved to Santa Monica when I was 12. I had 3 flashers within a matter of 3 months. And so, maybe we've had trauma, maybe we've had sexual trauma, who knows? So that's the first thing, is being able to go oh, I have my very own penis that I get to work with, and I get to know and understand. I know this sounds it's right here, son, just in case you're wondering.
That was awesome.
So basically, so I work, this is gonna look so ridiculous, but again, you heard the 55, it just goes downhill from there. So what I started doing at the end of my meditation, now I think I have my kunzite in one hand, my Colombian Lumerian in the other, that's a twin, so about calling in divine partnership. I have a big, humongous one of these that was so huge, I was like, that's gonna stay at my house, because that's a little offensive for me. But so I take it and I put the heart to my heart. Literally, and I just think I'm sending loving energy to my future partner, and I'm feeling him, and you can even David, this is gonna be for the ladies, but you can literally do this, no kidding, lay there in a meditation position or this, and it's and I'm talking about what would that feel like to have an actual penis, and this might seem so crazy and out there for you guys, and I'm sorry if I'm offending anyone in the crowd here, but I really think it's let's understand what that is about, and because I know there's been times in my life I've been afraid or I don't understand them really, and it's how can I fully embrace and understand this appendage that runs men in certain ways that's different than us as women, and have compassion. So because I think the greatest thing for love, and let's maybe go with some of these little guys, maybe we've been rejecting and shaming smaller penises. I know personally I have, so I will be the first to admit. like what would that be like? You know, and just like really understanding and having like a sweet level of compassion and understanding for men in that way. So that's been something that I have been exploring this year. And you know, we've all been like having like, they're amazing for fertility. So it's like if you're trying to get pregnant, we put like you can make like a little altar, like next to, literally like on your nightstand or next to your bed, where maybe it's like a penis and a rose quartz and, you know, 2 hearts and like and a yoni egg, and like where it's really about calling in, because there's something about when you look at a hard penis. Sorry, this might get the like hard, that like might be hard for you. I don't know. Okay, but like you look at a hard penis and it actually activates you. If you're a heterosexual female, maybe not. If you prefer women, but as a heterosexual female, or maybe a gay man, there's something very activating about that. And I think that that's sort of part of like what, you know, and I did call this like, you know, Crystallize your summer, lovin, and that's what this is about. It's really about being juicy, being activated, and feeling all of that energy inside. And like that is like another beautiful gift of these funny and sweet little crystals that you have to think some man in Brazil, maybe there was a lady, but some man probably carved them, and every single one of them that you see are different. So I commissioned a man. I'm just going to show you these little minis because there's a man, and all he does is carve birds. He carves parrots. He's carving a little blue. Anyone who knows my birdie, he's carving me a little blue right now. But I said, can you make me some rose quartz penises? And he's like, and I asked him this, and then like months and months later, he like stopped me and he goes, remember you asked me to carve those rose quartz penises? He's like, I did. And if you look at all of them, you guys, like, they're all different. And they all have a similar personality. And it is like literally so cute. Like when I saw the 500 he carved for us, and he carved rose quartz, they all were different. And I'm like, this is so precious. And I was like, you know, because we had a few of them, I kind of got them as like a joke. It's sort of like a bridesmaids, bachelorette party, whatever, jokey thing. But then I realized like people really like loved them, and I was like, this is so sweet. So we have them in all different kinds of crystal formations, but we have a lot of rose quartz and a lot of clear quartz. But really, I want to say like, let's embrace the penis, okay? And these are actually one of the things that's really cool about these little babies is that they are made of a really high grade rose quartz from Brazil. Like they're really actually, just as a crystal, like let's pretend that they're not a penis, let's just say they're hard. Like the grade of rose quartz is insane. Like it's like the top grade, like what you would carve jewelry out of. So that's one thing. I want to talk about setting the mood. So one of the things like that I love to do is I'm all about smell and light. So I have these rose quartz lamps set up here. These are not saw lamps, if you were wondering. They are rose quartz. And we sell them. Everything, by the way, is for sale, I do want to say, but no pressure to buy. But one of the things that I like to do, so there's 2 things. There's sage, which is a blessing and clears energy. And there's Palo Santo. And Palo Santo is really interesting. One of my girlfriends who actually lives in Peru learned this from the shamans. Palo Santo clears all energy. So it's really like a nice way of like resetting the energy. And I don't know if you guys like the smell, but I think it's like so nice and so subtle, and so there's something very grounding about that. So so say you're inviting, maybe you've made your lover a nice dinner, maybe you've not, maybe you have, and maybe you've set the mood in the bedroom. And one of the things that I really love is lighting. Like I personally am very light sensitive, and like this lighting here would not be conducive to sensual times. But like if it was just these guys and your beautiful, warm, cozy bedroom, and maybe a little waft of the palo, it definitely like creates something, because as creatures, women and men, like we take in everything. Like our receptors are, you know, our eyes, our mouth, our skin, like our noses. Like I am so smell oriented. Like if I don't like a way a guy smells, I cannot date him. I'm sorry. Like
I cannot date a guy, and I don't care, like, I have to like the way his sweat smells, even if it's a little intense. Like, it does something to me, and it's probably like my number one thing is smell. Like, I am so smell oriented, and I don't care how hot you are. If I don't like the way you smell, like, I'm done. Like, I don't know, does anyone else feel that way?
Yeah. Big time.
Yeah. So like, and I really think that it's almost like there's a programming in us of like an animal thing of like, you're my person because I want to bury my face in your neck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, it is such a freaking animal part of us. And like, so I that's something I want to talk about. So I had a beautiful rendezvous. I actually did break my year of silence this past weekend, and I had a really beautiful experience with an extraordinary man who is very tapped into his sensual part. And one of the things that was really beautiful about our time together is that he actually created a beautiful space for us to enjoy connecting, and he created like beautiful lighting. He actually didn't have a rose quartz lamp. He had a Himalayan salt lamp, but it was very nice. And he lit some candles, and he made it really beautiful for me. And he busted out some coconut oil, okay? So coconut oil is really nice for massage. And I don't know about you guys, but massaging me and relaxing, it helps me relax. So I just brought a little of my organic coconut oil from home. And I just want to like say, like, one of the things that we love in the store are these massage wands. So coconut oil actually I know can be used for lubricant. It's questionable, like that, like, you know, how clean. You know, you want to make sure anything you use is very clean, and like maybe you haven't been cooking with that coconut oil. Maybe you have a specific coconut oil that's just for lovemaking and connection and massage. But we have these amazing massage wands, and so there is nothing like some coconut oil and a crystal massage wand. And this is really nice. We have like a few different shaped ones that we have in the store. Rose quartz is of course amazing for self-love and self-nourishment. And you know, it's always nice to massage someone else and be massaged, but you can also massage yourself. You know, so we have that. We have two different kinds. They're shaped a little bit different, the rose quartz ones. This one's like actually gives you pressure points. I love this particular one. And then we also have this one, selenite is an interesting crystal. Has anyone here worked with selenite? Okay, cool. It is incredible. It's such a clearing force, and it doesn't hold negative energy. And so this is kind of cool because it's like if you just want to like clear yourself maybe at the end of the day, or be ready to receive, or just clear him, because maybe you want to clear his whatever weird energy he's been carrying around because he's been stressed at work.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to relax him and invite him into your feminine energy. And these are cool because at the end of them, it's a little fluorite. Fluorite's really good for healing. So it's like clearing energy and then pressure pointing wherever like maybe needs a little more tender loving care. So that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about. So I have some really close friends, Bob and Wendy. I think Wendy's in her 60s and Bob's in his 70s. They met, fell in love. They both had these big CEO crazy jobs, like in Northern California, and they literally packed up everything and decided to live in an RV and travel all over the United States. And they started a skincare line called Keats. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of Keats. They make like the cleanest, best sunblock on the planet, which is in your gift bags. We have samples of it and a bunch of their other products. But they make incredible, the cleanest skincare line ever. Wendy found out she had skin cancer, so that's sort of like how they like dropped everything and they were like, we're gonna live our lives to the fullest. So being that she's in her 60s and that she's going through, everyone here is very young, so this is not gonna apply to you now, but keep this in your memory banks. Being that she's going through menopause, I'm gonna say it, your vagina changes. So it can be maybe a little drier or not as like supple. And so they started to create this like perimenopause spray, and then they realized, damn, you know what's more fun is freaking like some sexy, sensual spray for for sensual play. So they created 3, and I'm gonna show you what they are. One's called Astra. One is called Classic, which is just like a classic, like whatever, this is not gonna work, I'm gonna do, sorry penises. We're gonna have to share. And then one is called Surf, which is a relaxing spray. And so the deal with these is, and I actually had a long talk with Bob about it today, and he kind of went into full detail about this. So the Classic is just like a regular lube spray, and basically the cool thing, I'm just gonna show you guys, you're more than welcome to try these. It literally is like this oil, and it's just like, it literally doesn't stop emulsifying. It's like a really amazing, like it's you literally, you know how it can be awkward with lube sometimes, like where you're like pulling it out and then it's like, it's awkward, what do I do with this thing, and then where do I put this container, and you know what I'm saying, we've all had those moments in our lives, I'm sure, maybe some people here have. But the cool thing about the spray is that it's like one thing, pump, done. You don't have to like close the top and like whatever, like plops up on the bed. So it also lasts and lasts and lasts. This is actually not out yet. It comes out in July. I think he said they like do a soft launch on their website. It's gonna be on Amazon and then on the Keats Soap website. And then they're doing like their big launch, big media blast on the 18th of July. And they actually have an incredible blog. This woman who's like a sex educator, her and her partner used it together and said it's just like the most amazing product. And then I tried it this weekend, and it's crazy incredible. So this is just like a classic. This Surf one is actually, it's very relaxing. So it actually, it has all these different relaxing herbs, and it actually relaxes you, and it allows you to kind of have like a longer experience and a longer orgasm, and just experience things on different levels. So, you know, for me, like the summer is about that. It's about like, we've got hopefully a little bit more time, and like maybe we give ourselves a little bit more time to just experience all kinds of things. And this definitely like was a really fun thing to play with. I actually didn't try this one because I was a little afraid when it said stimulating. I was like, oh my God, well, can I sleep? Because I really like value my sleep, and I don't want to be so stimulated that I can't sleep. But he said it's actually like, it doesn't affect your brain. He said so many of us think like it's it's always brain related, but these actually affect your physical body. And he said the stimulation is really just about heightened feelings. It's not about like caffeine or that kind of thing. It's really just heightening the feeling in your actual physical body. So that kind of explains them. They're amazing, and I highly recommend them. And just wanted to touch on that. Another thing I want to chat about is our magic wands. So I chose this particular one because it's rose quartz and peridot, which is August's birthstone, which is my birthstone. So these are kind of fun, and one of the things I wanted to talk about is just like taking the time with your partner to just really explore each other and like take them in. Like I want to notice like their toenails. I want to notice what the inside of their ankle looks like, or maybe the inside of like, what's his elbow like what's the inside of his arm like, and like really knowing and exploring and taking in this being, this glorious being in front of you, and then like being present with them. And so one of the things that's kind of fun is also like magic wands. Like we were playing around with these, and I realized like when you point a magic wand, I'm just gonna point it at your heart for a second.
Okay.
Feel it?
Yeah.
It's intense,
Yeah,
right?
it's
There's, like,
weird.
it's really intense. Like you feel it, right?
Yeah.
Like it's, I know, right? I know. I'm like afraid to like. You want harder for it. Yeah. You feel it?
I do,
Yeah. So, and I don't want to like, I will like play around with these. Like I can pass them around. You guys can play with them. They're they're a little delicate, so, but like the thing is with these is they're really amazing at directing energy. So imagine if instead of you're pointing it there, you're pointing it somewhere else. Like, and imagine like what you just felt, imagine it being pointed there and what that would feel like. And like that attention and that like, so these like fun, we can create all kinds of magic with these magic. So I just want to like say this is another fun little item. And, you know, the more, again, like I was like thinking about what I want to bring to talk about, and I was like, oh, the magic wands, yeah, of course, because you know it's really like creating magic, right? Like what we're doing when we're together in partnership. Let me see. There's something else I wanted to chat about. Okay. I think one of the most important things, because we've talked a lot about like when you're with your partner, whatever. I think one of the biggest things, and we kind of touched on in the beginning, is self-love, because ultimately, the more self-love and the more self-care we can give we can come to, the more we're going to even be able to partner, because we sometimes we long for this partner, and really it's like we're really longing for us. Like if you really think about all the qualities you like in someone, isn't it the things you like the best about yourself?
Yeah.
I mean, think about that. Think about like things you love, like what do you want in a man? Like, isn't that stuff that you value about like your own being? And like, wouldn't it be exciting to like partner with that part of yourself? So I really want to say that is something that I've really been working on this year, and like taking a full year to just be a nun, like for sure. It's like to take that time and really come to myself has allowed me to be open to a male in my life, a partner. But it was really doing that work and facing those times of like being like quote unquote lonely, and like what's that like, and then cultivating more time with like my girlfriends and like fun things, and like what adventures are we gonna do, and how are we gonna like create fun things where it's not always about longing for this person, you know, it's like really like longing for you. And like okay, so what if you were like to meet this person and you weren't really ready to receive them, you know, and like this extraordinary person comes into your life and it's like you're not actually even ready, like that's would suck, you know. And so I think that it's important that we really cultivate that. I want to stop here because I want to open it up for questions and comments, and I want to like invite you guys into this conversation. So is there anything anyone like wants to say or share, or questions? Yes.
How did you get into crystals? I'm really new to it, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, you know, oh my God, your shoes are so cute. I'm like dying. They're so fucking cute.
They're winking at you.
You know, it's so funny. Well, so it's, for me, it was like jewelry. So I've been designing jewelry for 14 years. And I would go and look at gemstones, and I found myself more and more drawn to crystals, and drawn to like spending, like I'd get my cut stones and I would take care of that part and get like stuff for designing. But then I started realizing how much I was feeling connected. It was almost like they were calling me. And the first person, like honestly, who got me into crystals is my mom. And like my mom would come, there's a big gem show that happens in Tucson once a year, and she would be like, she wanted to come with me, and then she would go get crystals, and then I would like kind of look at her crystals and I'd be like, oh my God, I really like them. And I would just find myself like spending more and more time with them. So that's sort of like how I got into them. And then, you know, I had a couple friends too that were really into crystals and knew a lot about them, and we would just talk about them and hang out with them. And then I actually honestly just spent time with them, and that's how I got into them. You know, and then next thing I know, I'm opening up a jewelry. I don't know if you know about me, but I opened up a jewelry store in Brentwood. I had an opportunity to open this tiny little store that was, not kidding, half the size of the space. Like it was from Tara to here. That was the size of our store. Like no kidding, like under 100 square feet. And I did a wall that was like, has anyone here been there? Does anyone here? You were at my first original store, right? My tiny town store.
The Brentwood Country Mart?
Yes.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, that was my store. Like out of the Brentwood Country Mart behind Free People. So we had like one crystal wall.
weird.
You went there, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Like years ago.
Yeah, like years ago. Like so that was like my little mini store. It was this little tiny peekaboo store, and so it was like I had literally a crystal wall, and the thing that's also interesting, the more you're around crystals, your eye changes, and like what I bought in the beginning to sell, I would never buy now. Like I'm really particular about like what I bring into people, and I'm really like I'm not one of those people that I'm like I'll take the whole table. Like I'm like no, they call it cherry picking in the crystal world. Like I cherry pick. If you guys knew what I did to bring these crystals here, you'd be very grateful because I go through a lot to make sure, and I spend a crazy amount of time making sure that what we have is beautifully curated, but with a lot of love and a lot of
that
attention.
in your store.
It feels like that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's funny when I go into other crystal stores, I'm like, what the hell? And like I'm like sad. Like I went to this one in Sausalito and I was looking through the window, and I was like, this is sad to me because like there's no like love and care put with these guys. And like I'm not saying like that every crystal store sucks, because there's some incredible crystal stores. Crystallarium is magical. If anyone's been to Crystallarium on La Cienega, there are amazing crystal stores. It's just like the intention, like that's like I have a lot of love for them and a lot of understanding that they're very alive beings. Like I get very upset if like a crystal breaks or gets cracked, or I feel like it's like one of my child broke their foot. You know. So yeah, I have like a great love for them. Yeah, and the more you're with them, the more they start to give you information. Like that was the thing I was trying to say, is like, you know, don't just look to like a crystal expert. Like there are like people who have knowledge about crystals, we can help guide, but really and truly like you are the guide. It's literally like they're like, hi, choose your own adventure. Where do you want to go? Let's do this together. We're together in this. So they'll tell you. It's just like when you get a new animal for the first time and like you don't kind of know their personality, and then you're like, oh, like Little Blue, like you're kind of a sassy bitch, and I like it. Like I didn't understand her, and now I am psychically connected to her. I know when she's gonna bite me. I know when she's gonna be sweet. I know like what not to do. I know what to do. I know what she loves, and it's the same thing with crystals. It's like they are your pets. They're your babies. So, yeah. Anything else from anyone?
Can we talk a little bit about like charging crystals?
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, so the first thing I want to say is like anytime you get a crystal, even though our store, we do all the cleansing and everything, the first thing you want to do, when you talk cleansing and then charging, the first thing you want to do is salt water. So this is a cool thing. If you have a lot of crystals, put a towel at the bottom of your bathtub, or if you're a shower-only sad house like I am, you put like a stopper and you fill up a little water in your shower and put a towel, and then you put all your crystals and literally get a pound of salt water and just pour it over and let them sit. And this is another intuition thing. You walk in, you will feel when they are clean. You will know, I literally, it's in my house. It's a hell of a process because I have a shit ton of crystals, as you can imagine. But then, like literally, I just go room to room, and like they get a good cleanse about once a year because I do a good job before they come in.
You don't need to do this with the ones that come from your store.
Oh yeah, I still would do it just because you want to program it to your energy. They're definitely filled with love, and you're not going to get like some crazy ass voodoo crystal from my store for sure. But it's still good to give them a little salt bath, and you're like, hey, welcome, I'm bathing you. Like, let me bathe you down. Let me give you a little love. Like that's sort of like the honoring of the crystal, you know. So it's like definitely give them a little bath and a welcome. And then the next thing to do is there's a couple. So the sun and the full moon are great ways to charge a crystal. Okay. There's crystals that charge crystals, and there's crystals that clear crystals too. So I want to say that quartz is a great charger. Selenite is a good clearer. So we sell these selenite plates at the store that you can literally put your crystals on and clear them. If you don't want to like do the whole saltwater thing. I like rituals. There's certain crystals that don't need to be cleaned, which is selenite and kunzite, but I still clean them even though selenite and kyanite, and I still clean them even though they say don't clean them, because I'm like, weirdo, but selenite you should never put in water because it will dissolve. That's important to know. However, I still sometimes will bathe with selenite because I don't mind that it dissolves. I'm like, it's dissolving in the water with me. And I love bathing with them. For charging, full sun is amazing. There's a couple crystals you don't want to put in the sun. Kunzite, citrine, celestite, kunzite, celestite, citrine, and amethyst. It fades them. However, I break rules and I even put them in the sun for like an hour and let them charge. I had somebody write me a email, find my email and write me an email because we had amethyst in our window. And we have a bright window, if you guys haven't noticed, we have a lot of sunlight that comes through. And this guy is like, I know you're a crystal lover, I can tell, and it makes me sad that I see amethyst in your window because you're fading it. And I'm like, you're right. So we literally pulled all the amethyst, and we have a lot of amethyst in my store. We pulled it all out of the window because this guy was right. And it's like, yeah, because if it doesn't sell within a month, it's gonna be like a shade or two lighter. So, you know, and it's still pretty, but like, as far as like crystal value, the darker the amethyst, the more valuable the stone when in their viewpoint. I personally am all about it. I like light amethyst because I think lavender is beautiful. It's like my favorite. But you know, that's sort of like another thing. Full moonlight is an amazing time. And you know what's crazy? Because I never noticed this about the moon until I got into crystals. Like, just like sun hits certain areas of your outside, the moon will beam down. So it'll be like, oh, I can put my crystals here, but then that's getting shadowed. So it's like finding those little beam spots like on your deck or your patio or outside your front door where you can put your crystals. So like that's a beautiful way. Yeah. Anything else?
I have a quick question.
Yes, Levy.
I see a lot of crystals being sold at like Home Goods now.
Yeah, I know.
And they say like from Brazil.
Yeah.
Are they, one, are they real, and two, like what is the quality?
Okay, I'm going to tell you all about that because I actually have a friend who sells India. We sell some of their crystals in my store.
Okay.
They sell apophyllite and different things, and they literally have got a contract with Home Goods. And I don't know if you've seen some of those ones that we sell that are attached to acrylic stands.
Yes.
So they basically got the worst quality crystals because Home Goods will be like, buy a bunch of crystals, but they are the lowest grade crystals, like no kidding. Like he showed me like what he brings to Home Goods compared to like what we have. And I was like, he's like, do you want to look through these? And I like looked through them and I found a couple, but I was like, oh my God, this is so sad. They're like horrible crystals. Like they're basically like the broken chunks. Like, and I'm sure you can always find something good, but you can kind of see, I don't know, the more you tune into crystals, the more you can see ones that are kind of deadish looking, and then there's ones that have a lot of light. And it really does take a refined eye, but the more you look at anything in life, the more you can see it. It's like a quality shoe or a quality purse or, you know, quality makeup. I'm just thinking of things that are random coming into my head, but you kind of know the difference between a cheap piece of jewelry and something that's of quality. And it's the same with crystals. Same with people, for that matter.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but there's a lot of people who are asleep on our planet. But there's amazing people that are actually awake, and like that's really what this is all about. Is like, you know, crystals are here to help us wake up and you know, tune in.
Can I ask you another question?
Yeah.
What about drinking like water with crystals?
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So there's a couple bottles. I was really considering bringing these into the store, but I've personally broken a couple, so I'm like really reluctant to bring them in.
Yeah.
There's a couple water bottles.
I know they're heavy though.
They are heavy, and they have like this crystal like bulbous thing
they're
inside.
beautiful.
There's some that literally have a raw crystal and they put water. I don't trust that yet because I think that personally, from what I know about crystals, they need to be protected. You shouldn't just like pour like some rose quartz. Yeah, I think I personally, like everything I've read, I don't know what they've treated these crystals with to like polish them, and I don't know personally that I want to be drinking that.
And now a lot of people are copying. I don't know if they're copying, but like they're everywhere now.
Yeah, they're everywhere. It's totally true, but it's not responsible.
Right, exactly.
We sell shungite. I don't know. Does anyone know about shungite here? Okay, so we sell shungite, which is a crystal that's it basically is an electromagnetic field protector, basically from cell phone rays. But it's also It's also detoxifying, and there's a way to make shungite water, and so we sell this little kit where you literally wash the shungite, and we give you like instructions, and you can put it in water, and like it will charge the water, and you can drink that water. But it's very specific for that crystal.
I just bought a piece. I'd never like known about it.
You never known about it? Okay, well
Until
we
I
have.
just- yeah, I got it.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Did you get the shungite water?
No,
oh,
she didn't tell me about
we
that.
have
I
it
haven't
hidden. Yeah, we have it hidden. Like it's kind of like underneath. Like there's a lot of like little secrets at our store, like that you have to kind of like ask me about or ask the girls. But we have this like how to make shungite water, and it's a cool thing because one lady told me, she's like, I drink it and I had like a huge detoxification. So, you know, I would go really gentle with the shungite water. But yeah, I mean, I'll just say Crystal Bible is a really great book. It's a really basic, great book about crystals. It's very user friendly, and I would like be so stoked to have Judy Hall come to the store and do a talk. And it's actually one of my goals is to get Judy Hall to come and like talk, because she's so practical, and like if she's ever in LA, to have her come and do a talk, I mean, we would freaking fill that sucker up. But she talks about making gem elixirs, and she's one that I would really trust because she's very practical, and just her voice, it's not woo woo. Like I love Love is in the Earth, but it can be a little bit like she can go out there like big time in the astral fields, and I don't know that everybody can relate to everything she's saying. So I kind of personally listen to Judy, and I listen to Robert Simmons. So there's another crystal book that we have at the store.
Oh, I got it.
Which one?
That big, you don't sell it.
It's the Book of Stones.
Yeah, I got it after I left the store.
Yeah, it's a great book. It's a great book.
It
and
is great.
Those are great mental references. And again, I want to say, still trust your instincts. But like with gem elixirs, I just like is make sure you just like know like which crystals are like, you know, we just don't know. I mean, like I want to just say like sometimes they probably get dynamited out of mines. Sometimes they're carefully extracted. Like with amethyst, like you know how there's like the black on the outside of some amethyst cathedrals.
Yeah.
It's because they have to put this like stuff over it, otherwise it'll crumble apart. And like I don't know if that's like toxic stuff. I certainly don't want to be drinking it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm personally very health oriented and sensitive to things. So I just like don't want anyone to get like heavy. I've had heavy metal poisoning in my life, and I've had weird things. So I just think it's we just got to be careful, not to be afraid.
Yeah,
One thing that I do think is nice, and I leave crystal. I have a lot of crystals in my kitchen, and like I actually have selenite where I do dishes because I like the idea of a clearing energy. And like you can like when you make food and when you're making things, you can put crystals on top of what you're eating, and even on top of your water, even around your bottles, because it will still penetrate energetically. Like so, say like. Oh, by the way, have you guys seen these cool stickers that we sell at the store? They say different things, like this one's abundance, and it has the symbol, and it has all the stuff about abundance. So say like, I've got my bottle of water for the day, like I can do this, like, and then put baby by them. And then it's like, I'm charged up, like maybe you do that at night before you go to bed, you know? And then like, you've got this little sweet thing, and it's like kind of, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I like filling up my water bottles and kind of lining them all up. And maybe like even if they're living there for a couple days, you put a bunch of crystals around them. Like I kind of feel like with crystals, it's like everything can be a ritual. Everything can be like an experience of beauty. Like everything that we do in our lives, like from like creating like an altar that like we sit at every day, even if it's freaking 5 minutes, that like that's beautiful. I have like a kitchen altar where I have like a little Buddha, and I have some crystals, or whatever you love, whatever like draws you in spiritually. It doesn't have to be Buddha. It can be whatever gives you peace, even if it's a flower and like a single crystal, or like, you know, just like that kind of thing. And I do believe like that the energy from like it all penetrates, you know? Yeah. Is there anything else anyone wants to say?
I have one last question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if you'll speak to this, but what is your opinion on like crystal muse?
What do you mean?
Like the crystals that they have.
I don't know, like, I mean, I remember getting an Energy Muse necklace, like, gifted to me many, many years ago before I was even designing jewelry. I think, like, when the Energy Muse first came out. I've never personally ever actually been in there, and so I don't know them, but I know that that was really lovely. And I mean, I believe anybody who's drawn to crystals, they probably have some goodness in them. You know, I don't think, I'm sure there's some cuckoo crazy crystal people. I've seen some at the shows, and I've met some people that are like, oh, I don't even want to look at them, but you know, like in there we are related because we do appreciate crystals, but I don't know them, so I don't want to like throw them under the bus.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever used crystals to like connect to higher consciousness or other?
Yes. I mean,
so
that's
curious.
why I meditate with them. That's why I meditate with them every day. Yeah, I've had some really interesting experiences with moldavites. Moldavite can put you out there into the ethers, and like moldavite came from another planet, and moldavite is a crystal that is it literally like a meteor dropped in I want to say Moldovia, but I'm not. Yeah, like and basically it's from another planet, and I have this driver's license picture which I wish I didn't have to turn in, where I'm holding moldavite, and everyone in line was screaming at me because I was getting 2 pictures because one of them was an ID and they thought I was being vain, and I literally look like I can't even. First of all, I look like really pretty in the picture, but I almost look like I'm from another planet, and it's like it's so funny. And so I do believe like you definitely can connect. I am telling you, my intuition and my guidance and the things I hear things that are so wild since I've been working with crystals, and obviously I wear a lot of crystals, and it does expand your energy for sure, like there's no question. And sometimes when you're expanding, it takes a minute to step into that energy, because it's like we're growing, and it's almost like, oh my gosh, like this is like big, and it's just like allowing yourself to really grow with the experience of what's happening in your body and in your space, you know? So yeah, anything else, you guys?
What is a crystal? Like, I know it sounds like such a stupid question, but you know what I mean? Why
like
are they
how
powerful?
is it formed?
Yeah, why are they?
Well, basically, it's an interesting question, and like I'm not a scientist.
Yeah.
I'm an artist who loves beauty.
Yeah.
So from my understanding, it's the pressure of the plates of the earth pressed together, and it's billions and millions of years of heat, of expansion, of contraction that creates this gem to come up through the earth. So it's very, very special, and it's like they come from different parts of the world. The temperatures, the way the earth is formed, they come in different layers through the earth, and they, you know, like there, for example, like there's a new discovery that just happened where in Ethiopia they've just discovered an emerald mine. It's like new. And so for me, that's a huge deal, because I love Colombian emeralds, and the Ethiopian emeralds are, to me, equally as beautiful. And it's shocking, because I've been a Colombian emerald fiend, and now I have this new place that I can get emeralds from, and that are from Ethiopia, that have they say a very kinder story of how they're coming into the universe. So, but yeah, so basically just like a diamond, and just like to put this to you that you may not be thinking this, but every gemstone is actually a crystal that's just been cut into a gemstone. So there's diamond crystals, there's emerald crystals, there's every stone in the entire universe was a crystal before it became a cut stone. So, yeah. Yes.
Oh, I was just saying cool.
Yeah.
Nodding. Yeah.
Diamonds have the same frequency as
crystals? There's a reason that diamonds are, there's a reason, like besides the annoying, like, you know, De Beers story and how there are like millions of them that they're storing, and they're really not that, they are very, very, very high amplifiers. And like I always tell ladies, look, if you are pissed off or you are traveling, take your diamonds off. Like cleanse them, put them in salt water, and in fact take all your jewelry off if you're going through anything, because jewelry, like, it takes on the energy, and you need to clear that shit. Like take them off, even your bracelets. Like I put them in, I just traveled and I just went through my wild weekend, and I put all my jewelry in salt water the night I got home, including my emerald that I wear every day. It's very important to clear your jewelry. It can only take so much, you know, it needs a bath. I mean, don't we all? So yeah, I don't know if there's anything else. I want to make sure you guys got the value, that you had value, that this was a valuable evening for you. To thank you for like I know that like our time is so precious, like and like it is so precious that you guys spent this very special night with me, and that you like trusted me to take you on a journey that I really hope was valuable for you guys. Like I really loved being able to share this with you, And you know, and we have gifts for every single one of you. Plus, we have yum yums and juices and treats. And I really want to just invite you guys to have like a little fun and meet each other because you're all amazing. You came together on this night.
Raffle.
What? Oh, wait, the raffle. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna do 3 fun questions. And they're gonna. The cool thing is, each of them is getting us a lube. It's not even on the market yet. And like, by the way, this is good for self-play too. So, you know, someone can share with your, with your partner or with you, and just have a little fun, which is very important, by the way. I do want to like emphasize that I think it's very important to know yourself and enjoy yourself alone. So, okay, so Amanda, can you help me with this?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so what was the first crystal I talked about as far as root chakra? Who said that? Yep. So you are getting stimulating. Woo! I'm changing that because I know you. I'm giving you relaxing. And there's a smell to it too. I just want to say it's an herbal smell. Okay. But it really relaxes you. Okay. I think it's perfect. All right. So the next one, somebody else gets stimulating. I need somebody to shout out a use for the penis crystal.
Sexual trauma.
Oh, stimulating.
You said sexual trauma. What was some of the other ones, just so we can review?
Fertility. Empathy.
Perfect.
Compassion.
Oh,
I just thought you holding it here. That's all I could think of.
I
I was like, whoa, what's that?
To your vagina.
Hold on, your vagina.
Okay, so the last is classic. It's a classic. So this is going to be, what's the most important thing that I said? What was the most important thing?
Love. Oh, you choose what you were attracted to. Oh, man.
Here you go, girl. All right, so thank you guys. I love you guys. And may we all spread the love that we shared tonight with the people in our lives and share this information. And I would love it if you guys are following us on Instagram. I'm assuming you all are because you came to the event. But to share this, because we are 1,200 followers away from being able to actually like open it up more, like to actually have like a buy it now on Instagram, which is a huge deal for us. And we're not one of those cheesy companies that buys fake followers. We really develop a really authentic Instagram, and I want to say it's because of Amanda. And Amanda is like Amanda fucking rocks it, you guys. Amanda shoots all my videos. Amanda curates it. She shoots everything that is on our Instagram. And this is like, she was not like an Instagram expert when she came to work with me. This was a gift that got cultivated on our team, is seeing that she was like this phenomenal photographer and she had a gift. And so it's like, it's because of her that we have what we have, but we would love to expand it out and share it. So please share. And if you feel drawn to, please write us a review on Google, because Yelp is really weird. They have weird algorithms, and they took down 53 of our reviews.
What? They take off all the good stuff.
Why?
I'm
trying to charge you.
For my business also. So if the people who write Yelp reviews hadn't already written their Yelp review somewhere else, then they'll delete it. So it's like they have to have a history, so it looks like they're writing just for you. It's very strange, but I had my friend who came to visit me like a year ago. I was like, would you write like one for a restaurant just so you could write an authentic review for your experience with me? And just so
It's true, but they also took down ones of people who had a ton of reviews too. So they're really weird. So we're kind of like more leaning towards Google, and even, believe it or not, TripAdvisor. So
I love TripAdvisor.
Yeah, because it's like people from America are the only people who know about Yelp.